According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, in 2013, an estimated 24.6 million Americans ages 12 or older, 9.4% of the population had used an illicit drug in the past month. The numbers continue to rise each year. In 2015, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, opioids killed more than 33,000 people, more than any year prior. From 2000 to 2015, more than 500,000 people died from drug overdoses. 91 Americans die every day from opioid overdose. Drug addiction has become a major social and public health issue. Every community is affected by drug abuse, but many do not understand it is a chronic disease. Addiction is not due to lack of willpower or self-esteem. It is a compulsive need and use of forming substances. This can lead to many negative effects, not just to the addict, but to the family, friends, and society around him. I would like to discuss some of the side effects of drug addiction. I'm going to talk about how this disease can hurt a person's health and well-being, ruin relationships, and pose a risk to commuting drug-related crimes. I'm going to start by discussing the health effects of drug addiction. Drug abuse can take a harsh toll on your physical and mental health. Substances like alcohol and caffeine can be taken moderately, but both have been linked to liver disease. Alcohol can impair your judgment, lead to suicide, and even overdose. Heroin can cause you to stop breathing, irregular heart rate, kidney failure, respiratory problems, and can lead to many long-lasting health complications. Addicts increase the risk of viral infections of HIV and hepatitis. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, drug use and addiction have been inseparably linked with HIV and AIDS since the beginning of the epidemic. The link has to do with heightened risk of both contracting and transmitting HIV and worsening its consequences. More than 1.2 million people in the United States live with an HIV infection, with 156,300 people who are unaware of their condition. Drugs also have the power to alter the brain's functions, causing hallucinations, delayed responses, impaired judgment, paranoia, and a change in personality, and much more. This can be detrimental to the life of users and those around them. This brings me to my next topic. People who have an addiction have a higher chance of ruining many of their relationships. Family members put under constant stress from their user being unreliable and focused on getting more drugs. The person who is using the drugs may say things they don't mean or act impulsively, which can lead to fighting and altercations. Addicts tend to be more aggressive over time and can be harmful to others. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, approximately 50 to 80% of all child abuse and neglect cases sustained by Child Protective Services involve some degree of substance abuse by a child's parents. Some people may lose their jobs because of tardiness, missed work, and use of substance. Money to buy drugs can lead to financial problems or crimes. This brings me to my final topic, drug-related crimes. Drug abusers have a high rate of disobeying the law. According to the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Dependence, Incorporated, approximately 60% of individuals that are arrested test positive for illegal drugs at arrest. Many users drive over lanes, miss traffic signals, and stop signs. Drugs can alter your reaction time and slow your judgment, and any of these impairments can lead to a vehicle crash. Driving under the influence increases chances of getting into an accident. According to the 2014 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 10 million people aged 12 and up reported driving under the influence of illicit drugs during the year prior to being surveyed. It is against the law to possess, use, and sell drugs. Most drug-related first-time offenders were arrested for theft motivated by their addiction. I would like to conclude my speech and remind you that drug addiction is a disease. Drug addiction has many negative effects. We discussed how the user's health can be at risk, how relationships can be destroyed, and how the user poses a risk to related crimes. Drug addiction has a strong impact on society, and it affects more than just the user, but everyone else around them. Family members struggle with the consequences of the user's addiction. Children can be subjected to negative influence, neglect, and harm. Many cities have a rising number of drug-related deaths each year. It has become a major social and public health issue. Ultimately, drug addiction can impact anyone, and in America, it is a big issue we have today.